Look. Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's us.
It's us. It's us.
It's sus.
Wild Wednesday. And it's sus. That's what the kids
I got
say,
all the
huh?
Gen Z
I'm not-
terminology going.
I don't understand. Okay, my kid keeps saying, "Oh, that outfit is so eating."
Really?
And I'm like,
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one.
well, to me, I remember, short shorts and stuff and thinking, is your butt eating your shorts? Like, is that what you're trying to say? Like, don't tell me my outfit's eating, because that doesn't mean to you what it means to me. Like,
There was a guy, I was working in Dallas after I'd graduated college and I was a software programmer at this company. It was fairly large. And this guy had this girl walk by and he was really loud. He spoke really loud. Like he already, like, I'm not really hot. Yeah, he just had that loud voice that people do. There was a girl that walked by and she was not a light girl, but she wasn't super heavy. And
we call ourselves thick.
Yeah, okay, we'll call her thick. And he walked by. We were eating lunch, and he goes, "Hey, Stacy." I don't remember her name. Hey, Stacy. She's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you hungry?" She goes, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Well, because your butt's eating your pants." This is in a professional setting.
Oh boy.
So it didn't go well.
I bet not.
And because he talked so loud, everybody heard down the entire hall.
Oh my gosh. That would have been my dad.
I mean, like 40 people who heard it. Yeah, he didn't last long there. He didn't have the capability of
overcoming
saying things correctly.
Being forgiven for being an old man.
So do you use lingo with your daughter just to piss her off?
I mean, not to piss her off, make her angry, but I will say things that she'll be, Mom, don't.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking
Mom, don't. I'll be like, what? I don't even remember the phrases because.
So here's what I've been using here lately with Kindle.
I'm ready. Give me some more ammunition.
You're doing too much.
You're doing too much.
Bro, you're doing too much.
Oh, do not call me bro.
Bro.
Bro, I am not your bro.
Why are you acting sus?
That's bussin'.
bussin' for real.
I think that was last year.
She got mad at me. Oh yeah, no, that's old.
Yeah, that's way old.
It's old. and because it's old, she's like, no, it's just bus. I'm like, no, it's bussin' for real. She's like, that is so old. That is ancient. I'm like, yeah, that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah, at least it's like, we don't say that anymore. Like,
this is the new one.
You might not.
This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. Have you heard gat?
What?
Look what she's gat.
No.
Yeah. So that's like she's got a little something.
Oh, she says preppy. Oh, it's so preppy in here. And it's like she's always saying it sarcastically. Like, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I understand saying something's preppy, like that's a preppy outfit.
We had our words, okay? And we had some really bad ones. Rad was not a great word, okay? But we used it all the time. So rad.
Hey, we still use it in my business. We make rad maps.
Rad.
But it's an acronym.
Yeah, well, rad.
Reeves acquired data.
Instead of saying radical.
Needs to know about if they have hydrocarbons on their property, be sure to give me a call.
And if you're looking for that property, you can call me. Jason Bagley, 817-900-2221.
The Integralist Realtor.
The Integralist?
Integralist.
I'm not sus, yo. I have what you got.
Got.
You got to have me.
Oh, it's so peppy in here.
So give me the tea. That's another one.
Her solo dance last year was about the tea. It was fun. What's the tea? It was kind of like Asian or something, but it was all in English.
Whoa.
But it was like,
whoa. Calm down.
What's the tea? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it was awesome. Her solo was awesome.
So it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week.
Wednesday.
Hump day.
Mike. Mike,
Hey, Mike.
Mike.
What day
Guess
is
what
it?
day it is?
Hump day?
It's hump
Guess
day.
what day it is? That was a great commercial, man.
Oh man, I miss the camel, not the toes.
Not the non-filters.
Camel toes?
She already said that. You're late. Tiffany's walking in.
What's the
I
tea?
think she's early.
She is early. Well, she had a meeting. I'm glad you got out of your meeting on time.
So how is the porcelain?
Oh, I love
gorilla?
the pink. Oh, why thanks. Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
I said, why, thank you.
So lovely.
Thank you.
You kind of got an 80s vibe going today.
Do I?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is it the zipper?
Zipper and the jeans.
Yeah.
Those are jeans, right?
They are jeans.
They're definitely breeches.
Oh, wow, man. It's bright on that camera.
Oh, well.
Okay.
My apologies. I missed it.
It's so bright.
It's so preppy in here.
That's because it's supposed to be hot today. It's supposed to be up at 80 degrees
Oh my
today.
gosh. I'm not. Yesterday I ended up, when I got out of the studio and I went to my office, I changed out of my dress so I could do barn stuff, man shit. And I had on a long sleeve shirt and shorts. And I was like, this feels really weird, but I'm comfortable.
You came back to the office like that.
I know.
I did not dress properly for yesterday. I thought I was going to be cool enough, and I just was outrageously uncomfortable in what I was wearing and couldn't wait to change my clothes. But like, that's important to anybody.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like wearing this jacket and I'm already sweating, so that's coming off.
I'm not wearing a jacket and I'm already sweating. Hey, we didn't get to do our focus word of the week because we had a guest yesterday, Matthew Lucic. As a reminder, early voting has started here in Texas
Today.
No, it started yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to actually go get my vote on today.
I think we can do that at Cana, can't we?
I have not looked, to be honest. I've posted.
Well, usually they do.
Did you know that it's highly unusual throughout the United States to have early voting like we do? Like we have the most time to vote of any state.
We have the most votes to count.
We do have a lot of votes to count, but
well, we don't have the most. That's not true.
We have a lot.
Have more congested areas of the United States than Texas with more voters.
I was being silly, Tiffany.
Oh, okay. All right. But anyway, early voting.
We have the most real voters.
We have the most ones alive.
Hello.
Oh,
hello.
The most ones alive.
Well, I'm keeping my grandmother's memory alive. She's been a voting Democrat her whole life, and I'm going to make sure she stays that way. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's only a joke.
Okay, starting out crazy this morning, but get out and vote.
Throwing daggers.
Get out and vote. Early voting is an opportunity to beat the crowd on election day, especially if you have to work. That's what early voting is there for, so that everybody can, because they just won't make it. You know, I mean, obviously you can't shut down every single job on election day. You know, like the hospitals, you know, somebody has to work. So having these early voting options is very helpful to people who, you know, have
I think early voting
jobs.
I think early voting, the way we do it is really healthy because everybody has to present identification. But if you don't have identification, they have ways for you to go through a process to make sure you still can vote. I mean, the process is superior.
No, you cannot vote without identification.
Actually, you can, Tiffany.
Where are you seeing that? Are you talking about early voting? I mean,
I learned
like
this
mail-in?
yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you have to go through an entire affidavit process, and there's a big thing about it, and then you have to prove a lot of things. It's a pain in the tail end. It's like a 3-page process, and yeah, not easy to do.
Like at the voting at the polling table. Really? Very interesting. Is that for people who have, like, you know, expired driver's licenses or?
No, actually, because you can have an expired driver's license and use it if it's been within a year.
Within a year. Okay. Okay. So did you learn this at Rotary?
I did.
Okay.
We weren't at Project U because I'm the Rotary president, but we had Amanda from the city come in and teach us about how the voting is coming up.
Oh, fantastic.
It was really
That's cool.
Yeah. And she shared a lot, and, you know,
she's the bomb, man.
She is solid, and she does such a good job to keep adding stuff to her.
This is Amanda Campos, by the way, who is our city secretary here in Burleson, Texas. And she's also on, is she the current president of the
The state
State
secretary.
Association? Yeah. Yeah. She's amazing. She is absolutely amazing.
She's a Rotarian at the Midday Rotary Club. If you ever want to come out and check us out, it's noon at Antonio's currently.
On what day?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
I'd love to have you. I'll buy you lunch. Let me know you're coming.
Make it Taco Tuesday.
I don't know why we just don't join and come, because we try to do our Taco Tuesday there anyway. Just saying.
Because you get taco soup.
We're thinking
or
about that.
enchilada soup.
So if you're wondering where you can vote in Johnson County, if you go to JohnsonCountyElections.com and then click on polling places, it will tell you where you can go and what the hours are. If I sat here and read it all off to you, everybody would be bored. Wait a minute, that's not correct. I'm telling you the wrong website. I did this the other day. Well, because it keeps bringing me somewhere else. It's johnsoncountytx.org, and then click on departments and go to elections is the elections office. So, and then you'll see the early voting locations all across the county where you can go vote. I don't know how this other website keeps popping up, but don't go to the first one I said to, because it's wrong. It's very, very wrong. Very wrong. If you're looking for something to do for lunch tomorrow, you can join us at the Keene Chamber of Commerce, where Phil King will be speaking. He's the guest that will be speaking tomorrow. So,
not to Keene and Phil King.
Jason, you missed
That's
the
important.
opportunity. We should have used the wrong word when we were complimenting her outfit this morning. We should have said, "Oh my God, that outfit is so eating."
It's eating.
It's so eating. That's what Elise
Look what she got.
Eating.
Look what she's got.
It means like it's like awesome, but
I don't really know what the yacht
awesome
thing is. This is fairly new to me.
I know I said that special. Just
okay. I'm just checking.
You're doing too much.
You're trying too hard. Mom, no, don't.
This is eating.
It's eating.
Okay.
That outfit is so eating.
Okay. Now, this is new for me.
Yeah.
I've never. Is this like a whole generation thing, or is this just like one of her own isms?
No, this is like them's. They all say this. It's their
they.
The days.
Thank you for that coffee. That is spectacular this morning. I don't know what you did special to it, but it's.
I mixed it just right.
You don't want to know.
Are you having some tall, dark, and handsome?
No, I had the last one yesterday.
Oh, like the very last one ever?
Well, there wasn't one anymore in the basket. So I'm espressoing myself.
A good
today.
one's hard to find. Am I right?
Yeah.
True that. Hey, yesterday we so we had Matthew Lucci talking about the elections coming up, right? And so we did not do our focus word of the week, shall we?
Yes, please.
All right. Awesome.
Let's focus.
I guess Nona wasn't making it today.
I guess not. I think
she said yesterday
she's creating.
Wasn't.
She's got 2 days of training. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. This week's word is purpose. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. Matthew 28:19.
And lo, I'll be with you always, even to the end of the age.
Amen. Focus tip. Do you ever wonder why you are where you are in this life? This week, be reminded that you are here on this earth at this moment in time for a specific purpose, to love God and others. This week, try to make this your only goal and see how God shows up. Love them where they're out, or bless them up, bless them out.
Bless them up, bless them out.
Right?
Love them, Lord.
Yeah. Especially during election season. Can we just say...
I want to say this because I think this is really, really important. In Tiffany and I, we have a very different friendship than a lot of people do, in that we have things that we are really similar on. And there's other things that we just flat out, I'll just look at her and go, Tiffany, you're out of your mind. And this is the reality of how it used to be, that you could disagree with someone and still have a relationship with them and a friendship with them. And I think it's so vital that you take people and just allow them to be themselves, because you can't make anybody change.
No.
They have to want to do that. And is it even your place to do so? Because this is what this is talking about, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I commanded you. What he's saying is, look, guys, don't get your opinion in the way of this. You show them me. You show them me. That's your purpose. So our purpose as a believer, if you're a believer in Jesus Christ and you follow the biblical principles, we're supposed to be Jesus in skin. And what that means is loving people where they're at, but also understanding that you do not have to accept their downfalls, their pitfalls, and all that. You can accept their and as people and not like what they do. And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, Tiffany. I was just giving
I
that
know
as an
that.
example. I mean, but sometimes. Anyway,
Whatever.
no, I think it's important for you to understand you can disagree with someone on their actions and still love them. You can.
Sure.
In
Well,
fact,
actions,
it's a commandment.
actions, opinions, and words. It's all of it. We're not going to agree on everything. We're just not going
And
to.
we're not supposed to.
You're really not. It's supposed to create dialogue.
If we were supposed to agree on everything, then the scripture wouldn't be true.
Well, there wouldn't be a
iron
word called
sharpening
consensus.
iron, and then there wouldn't be any sandpaper or whatever. Like there wouldn't be anything to make us better.
We have to have.
We're not all perfect.
We have to have those conversations. I think it's important, especially for today's youth, that it's becoming more and more divided. It's like either you agree with me or you're just stay away from me. And it's important for us to understand there's things that are right and there's things that are wrong. And it's okay to say, I'm not going to allow you to tell me how to live my life, but just understand that, we can still love them through what they're going to do. And I don't know.
It's just not our job to be the Holy Spirit.
I read one of actually I'm gonna pull this up because it was a post that I read. I just saw it late last night.
The Corvette one?
No, but that was hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Sorry. I didn't want to say, but
saw that at the same time or something. I was like, oh my god.
All I could think about in looking at that picture is one city councilman, and I'm not throwing anybody's name out there, and that's all I could see in that picture.
I saw it too.
You know who I'm talking about? Yes.
That's exactly what I thought.
Okay, this is the great thing about our friendship because we don't even have to say who we're talking about, and we know who we're talking about. And I really wanted to put it in the when I shared this picture.
That's so
okay,
funny.
So it's a picture of about 8 white-haired older gentlemen in jorts.
They're all
in their
ultra
long white
attractive
socks.
men,
Yeah.
but they're older.
and they're white New Balance.
Yes.
You gotta have them this crispy boys, man.
If you're friends with me on Facebook, you can see this
Oh my
picture. I might
gosh.
make it public just so
Yeah.
everybody can see it, but I almost put in there. I just went be
You should have
alert.
tagged him.
I know. No. We'll talk about that off
That's
air.
funny.
But
Oh.
I was like, do I or don't I? I'm like, don't. This isn't
No.
this isn't a good time to do
No.
that. But it would have been
That's
freaking
awesome.
great. I'm just not sure if he would have laughed at
I don't know.
it. So
That's
all right.
funny.
Anyway, especially since we're not friends we're not
Oh,
connected on Facebook. So yeah, it's a longer story.
Okay.
Someone I'll tell you after. But anyway, no, it wasn't that. It was this other one that I was just laughing so hard I couldn't get to it. But it's one of those things where I was like, oh, that was quite profound. It said, if God didn't send Jesus to condemn the world, I doubt he sent you.
Mm.
I was like, wow,
That's deep.
very simple and very deep right there. So just a good thought. And that was actually an original post, I guess.
Well, the
Chuck
reality
Day
is
posted it.
we condemn ourselves.
Absolutely.
And
the
so,
worst.
The hardest part of this, there's two ways that people typically go, in my opinion, and this is all opinion. I'm not a psychotherapist, so take it for what it's worth. But people usually go one of two directions. Either they love themselves so much that they don't think they can be wrong, or they hate themselves so much that they don't think they can be right.
Mm.
And the problem is that those two people usually end up in the same room together. And it creates such a vile example of human kindness. So I think that grace is such an important element of purpose. if you want to have purpose in life, the first thing you have to have is grace. And I
Yeah.
love the thought, and our pastor is really confident in this. People are a mess. And so we have to know that God's grace, his ability to change us from the inside out, is stronger than the world. And for those of us who are willing to go through it, and God can change us. And he has, I tell you, I'm a different guy than I was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And I'll be a different guy tomorrow. And I'll be a different guy a year from then. And what happens is, if we're constantly seeking after God's purpose and God's plan for our life, I think we become more aware of the love that we can have towards people who disagree with us, towards people who are doing the wrong thing. And I'm just going to say it, doing the wrong. There's plenty of us out there doing the wrong thing, but such were some of you. So before, it's like you said, judge not lest you be judged. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean that what they're doing is wrong or right. It's simply that if you take that road, you have to be willing to do it to yourself first. Get the log out of your own eye before you try to take the splinter out of your friends.
Well, and what may be wrong to you individually when you're judging somebody else, intention is everything. I think when you're looking at why people are doing certain things that they're doing, so in without knowing someone's underlying intention or understanding
Which
where
we
they came from, everybody has a story. It's not. That's why we don't know everything about that other individual, of
Because
what's
it
going
says
on
no one-
internally.
No one knows a man's heart but the Lord.
Right. And so it's not,
Each man must take care of their
it's
own
not left. I
salvation.
mean, look at it, but you know what? Find a way that when you see something like that for somebody, to maybe dive into prayer for them versus
Yes,
judgment, and just go, man, whatever they're going through,
God, just
I hope you
work-
bring them
work
through
them
them.
through
Yeah.
that,
Like
yeah.
whatever it is. I mean, because guess what? I've been there too.
Well, and I think it's important to understand, look, you are, let's say it's something that's absolutely 100% wrong according to the biblical scriptures. Okay. It is 100% wrong. And you're like, this is wrong. I'm going to call him out. Okay. Just be aware that Jesus spent more time getting angry at the people that were of religion than he was at the people that were doing the wrong thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the ones he got angrier at the ones pointing out the problem, pointing out the wrongness,
Right.
quote unquote,
Right.
Right.
than the ones actually partaking.
But
in
I'm
the
not
sin.
saying anybody, because you have to work out your own salvation, as it says. The only thing I would say is that I've learned, now that I've been on this earth 48 years, I'm learning. I should never say I'm learned. I'm learning that it's just easier to love people than to hate them, and it's easier on my heart. It's easier on my soul, and I find that people are more willing to hear what I have to say if I do it in a loving manner. So while I disagree with them, I can still love them through it. I don't have to sit there and you don't have to point out somebody's misgivings every single time you see them.
Mhm.
I have family members that I would love to just sit there and look them dead in the eye and go, you're being a moron.
Right.
Stop being an idiot. But if I do that, I'm going to lose them.
Mhm.
And then I won't have any capability
Right.
of talking to them. So it's really not my problem, because that's between them and the Lord. So I pray for them and I love them in the way that I can.
My mom has been going to this widow's Bible study on Tuesday, and she came home with this one nugget, and she was sitting there, and like this lady was talking about stuff that's going on, and she goes, and my mentor said, that's a lot, man. God, you've got a problem. I don't have a problem. My people don't have a problem. God's got a problem. Now I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna tell God, you got a problem. You need to go handle it. That's up to you. And it takes the monkey off your back. Then you can walk in that love, right? Because it's not your problem. So that's been something that we've really been trying to work on as a together but separate. That's something that we definitely had been working on as mother-daughter growing in the Lord kind of thing. And it helps. Helps you sleep at night for sure. Because there's nothing any of us can do about anybody else.
This is true. I have this challenge right now with American Airlines, because I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm gonna
Nice segue.
thank you. I work on that. Checking a bag on American Airlines will now cost you more at the airport. By the way, let me preface this. American Airlines made $1 billion off of check bag fees last year.
Awesome.
1 billion. So that's apparently not enough. They're going to increase it now. So now it will cost $35 if you pay online during your check-in. That's as much as a 33% increase from what it previously cost at American Airlines. $30 for both methods. Oh, damn!
Puerto Rico, it was $50.
No, it's more. It's more. We'll come back to this.
I want to know how much more it is when we get back.
Yeah, and Adam Smith's going to be joining. You cut me off.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'll be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look.
Miss Dixie,
Look,
how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys. I just wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I would rather have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
hey,
dude.
Nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is my
love
girl.
You.
I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities.
My mom, love you.
Dixie.
Bye, I love you too.
With Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JOCO Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
JOCO Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
We're back.
You can't do that. You can't just whatever.
JOCO Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more at JOCOCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Check out your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-844.
No.
Now you're really messing people up.
844-839-4245. Be sure to dress your arms and more at
TheTiffy.
thetiffy.com.
Welcome back to the second half of JOCO Vibes here on JOCO Community Radio. I'm Tiffany Carlen with Sarah Reeves and Jason Bagley. And joining us here in the conversation is going to be Adam Smith. And Adam just got back from traveling to and from Australia.
Good eye, mate.
It's not bad.
So these may not have hit him just yet, but let's finish telling you about what's coming from American Airlines.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie.
Flights within. What does Barbie have to do with this? Flights within and between the United States, Puerto Rico, and U.S. Virgin Islands are all affected by the price increase. American has also hiked the price of a second checked bag to $45. Whoa.
That was cool.
Was your
That's
volume up?
trippy.
Why was that an echo?
It
I
didn't.
don't know. It could have been Adam. I don't know. Adam, was that you? Maybe.
Nope. No.
So it's going to be effective for flights booked beginning Tuesday. I'm assuming that was yesterday. I mean, I just saw this on the news this
They're
morning.
going to pay for those pilots that they just got a raise on.
I'm going to assume it's going to be next week. But okay, so $1 billion a year at their current rate. That's just not enough. $1 billion just on check.
They
check
just
bags.
raised the pilots' rate, and they're about to have the stewards all go on strike as well. So yeah, they've got to pay for those pilots, and they have to pay for those stewards.
It's sure. There. They profited $1 billion. I think they got the room. I'm just saying. I'm just saying we should.
Because you and I are going to be on the opposite side of that. I'm pro corporation.
I'm pro corporation too. I'm also pro profit. I'm pro reasonable profit. And and I'm sorry, I can't pack just one suitcase when I travel.
Don't use American
Adam,
Airlines.
I saw your luggage in the airport. How many bags did you check?
Just one each for Courtney and I. But if you're 2 pounds over and you travel international, it's $100 a pound.
Woo! Dear Lord.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right? Like if you're going to travel, it's going to be expensive no matter what, and oil prices go up, so they can't make the ticket prices more, so they make the baggage prices more.
$100 per pound. That's insane. So did you go over?
No, I threw some stuff out.
You threw some, really?
Yeah. I refuse to
what's heavy?
See, okay, so every time I go to the airport, I always have an extra bag, or Todd and I have like a third bag that we can each add stuff to and shift if we have to. And I'm usually taking out like my shoes are typically they're the heaviest thing in, or I have a toiletry bag I can take out and check.
Yeah.
But you can do that on Southwest. If you're flying Southwest, you don't pay for your bags. So I mean, that's different.
What I find odd, and this is just a statement. So they weigh your bags, right? Your bag's 50 pounds, and then they throw it on there, right?
They don't weigh you.
They don't weigh you, and they don't weigh your carry-on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could be carrying a bag of rocks.
Well, on the way back from Puerto Rico, Elise's roll-on suitcase was full of seashells.
Oh, I bet that's
like
bad.
dead coral from.
I can imagine this.
They let her take that.
Well, they had to look at everything in her suitcase because, after we go through security, they're like,
the drug dog's like, I don't know what that is, but it's not good.
Well, and I had a phone that my phone had been in a Ziploc bag full of rice, so I still had the phone in the bag of rice in my carry-on. So they had to go through everything in my bag, and they're like, "Why do you have rice?" And I was like, "Well, I bought it at the grocery store because
did you
my
claim
phone."
It? Did you claim your international rice?
The guy was like, okay, fine. And then he saw the seashells and he was like, oh my God, this is so dumb. He was like feeling really stupid for doing his job.
Well, he's doing his job.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, how was your trip?
Yeah, fantastic. It was a good time to catch up with the folks and eat a bit too many calories and have a beer with the old man and that kind of stuff, but it was well worth it. So
that's really good for your mental health.
And your goddaughters, which are your nieces, right? Those are your nieces?
Yeah. So my sister's kids, Reva and Harper, they're troublemakers, like Tasmanian devils, but they're good.
I love it. Well, you posted something yesterday, and I'm trying to be more prepared here and pull it up. Of course, I can never get to no, it's right here. I really like this. I'm going to read part of it, and then I want you to take over from there. But you posted this. These are not my children. It's a picture of you with your goddaughters. These are not my children, but I am a godfather. Top G. You said, I love that. It dawned on me a long time ago that being the best version of yourself isn't for you. Mm-hmm. It's for your circle. It's about setting good examples. It's about being strong enough mentally, physically, and emotionally to be able to take care of loved ones. And maybe one day I'll have to take care of these two full time, or when they are old enough, they'll come visit me for summer break. How awesome would that be? Mm-hmm. So you say that's when who I am and how I show up each day will be beyond impactful, which brings me to an important question. Are you showing up to your loved ones each day as the highest version of yourself? If not, you need to get your thoughts, energy, and actions in alignment ASAP. Never know who's watching and taking note. Your coach, Adam. So talk about that, because again, I know this, some of this is the mindset part that you're talking about, but what one of the things that I really like about you as a fat loss coach, if you will, is that this is, you really drive it home to people that this isn't about getting on a treadmill. This isn't about just picking up the weights and doing it. It's a full circle thing. And knowing your purpose for doing it is really important. So talk about that.
Yeah, like I said in that post, one of the things I learned a long time ago was understanding that when I get to the end of my life and I sit down with my maker, whoever that is, and whoever you believe in, and you watch let's say a video or recording of your life, are you going to be proud of how you represented yourself, how you showed up to your family, the energy that you brought into your workplace? Were you your best self, healthy body, mind, soul, all that kind of stuff? In all sort of areas. And it all starts with taking care of yourself, so then you can take care of everyone else around you. Because we're talking about being on a plane, that the little training video, the safety video they show everyone at the beginning before the plane takes off is put the mask on yourself so you can breathe, and then you can help the person next to you. How are you meant to help your kids, or in this case my granddaughters and my godchildren? How can I help them if I'm not taking care of myself and being the best version of myself, right? It's like giving people around you the watered down version of you every time you sort of show up.
Do you think that they're already kind of, learning from you with that? I mean, I'm assuming your parents and your sister, they're watching, what you're doing and how you're coaching. Do you think that they're participating, and or whether it's on the side, sidelines, or just silently going, my boy knows what he's doing. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
I mean, do you see that impact?
I see it straight away, because Harper, the little one, is a bit of a trash panda when it comes to eating. She'll eat anything that's not nailed down. But she's also super active, right? And because her mom is super active, she's got a Peloton and out at the beach all day, all this kind of stuff. The kids are just naturally like this. So they're just seeing how we eat, what we do. My dad plays tennis all the time, so we're on the tennis court, that kind of stuff. And it sets the tone, right? This is, again, the analogy of do as I do, not as I say sort of situation. When it comes to parents, we wonder why our kids are behind the screen eating Oreos, maybe overweight, unhealthy, have all these problems at school. Often it comes from the representation of the parent, right? Maybe the parent is sitting on the couch eating junk food, heavier than they should be, not taking care of themselves. So the kid's just following suit. Because if the dad was out there running 5Ks every single morning, or the mom was doing cycling on the weekend, the kids would be doing it as well.
That's the truth.
It is the truth.
I mean, whether you're dragging them along to the gym or not, or, I mean, in a lot of cases, that's what you have to do. If you want to go do it, you have to bring your kids with you. I mean, my kids aren't itty bitty like that anymore, but there was a time where when I was doing what I was doing, they were right there next to me.
But if we watch you eat your feelings, we're probably going to eat our feelings.
Yeah,
too.
it's learned behavior. I mean, like in full generality, is it completely learned behavior from a child watching their parent? Do you feel like a child can also watch their parent and kind of go,
I'm not
what
gonna
are
do
you
that."
doing?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. There's a couple of things on this, right? So there's nature versus nurture. There's also one of the things that I learned a while ago when it comes to psychology, and then psychology as how we deal with trauma as being an adult. So the way that we, or the trauma that we went through as a child or an adolescent, and the way that we learned to deal with that trauma and self-soothe or cope with it, whatever that trauma was, is the reaction that comes out when we're an adult. So if we were a kid, for example, and we got bullied at school and we wanted to feel better about ourselves, so we went to the pantry when we got home and sort of stuffed our face just to get better feelings, to get those endorphin rushes and feel good about ourselves. That's the same reactions as we have as an adult. So there's a little bit of seeing, okay, mom and dad are overeating or they indulge, and I feel good when I do it. And it sets that tone in our subconscious, and then we start to do it when we're an adult as well. So for example, say from a personal experience, when I was bullied at school, I would come home and then eat my feelings, because that's the only way I knew how to cope with it, right? It wasn't until I got older did I then realize, okay, cool, if I have a stressful day, or if I have a bad relationship and a shitty conversation, the first thing, my internal reaction is to go to the pantry or to order fast food or to grab a chocolate bar and do that kind of stuff. You have to become self-aware of it a little bit. And sure, you might be accidentally teaching your kids to, go through a drive-through on a bad day so you can get an ice cream or get McDonald's. And then this is how they learn how to deal with emotions. If I have a bad day, let's go through McDonald's to get an ice cream, or let's get a milkshake. And then that can unfortunately slip into, okay, I want to change my state. So I want to drink some alcohol, or I want to smoke some weed, or I want to do whatever. Because that's all that food and substance actually is just changing the state, right? If you're drinking alcohol, eating food, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, you're just not happy with who you are or where you're at. You're not comfortable in your own body. So you want to change your state. You want to change your emotional state.
I would say that when I was smoking cigarettes, which it's been 24 years ago. It's been about 24 years since I quit. But I remember smoking very vividly, and you always had some reason to do it, honestly. And it's the same thing, I think, with people with food or other issues, is that when you stop doing it, when you let go of the habit, you realize you have so much more time, because you realize how much that addiction was controlling what you did throughout the day. Like, I knew which airport I could get outside for a quick smoke before I got on my connecting flight, of which I did miss one once in Dallas. I do blame my watch. It's true. True story. Only happened once, but it was controlling everything I did. I'd get done with the meal and I was like, oh, I really want to enjoy a cigarette right now. Other things, I really want to enjoy a cigarette right now. With my coffee, I really want to enjoy a cigarette right now. Or, oh no, I can't do that yet. I want to have a quick cigarette before we get back in the car. Or I want to do, and it was controlling so much of my day. And I really didn't realize it until I let go of it. And I was like, holy cow. Like, I really turned to that in stressful moments. I really need a cigarette. And I hear people who I know who smoke. I need a cigarette so bad right now. It's just so stressful.
So many times when we're addicted to things like that, or we have these habits, not even necessarily addicted, but we have these habits because they started with emotions, and you have to replace that habit with something else. You can't just not do anything. Like, you have to, it's either, because if you leave it and you don't replace it with something, you're going to go back to it over and over and over again. And like, I realized I had been having, we called them therapy sessions, calling my brother. We would call each other like almost every single day for like 3 or 4 months. And then we stopped doing that recently. And like, we haven't spoken in like a month and a half, maybe longer. And like, then we both just sort of kind of had like these super stressful months. And we're like, I finally called him the other day and we were talking, and I was like, he had been talking about what he had been going through, and I started talking about what I'd been going through and the stress. And I said, I guess we probably need to pick our therapy sessions back up. They might've been helping. And he goes, yeah, probably 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think the challenge,
give me my 8 minutes.
I'll tell you, I was a former smoker too. I smoked, as a younger man, and I was able to quit, and the whole of smoking is bad. There's nothing good about it. And you're capable of never doing it again once you stop. So the challenge that I've had over the course of my life, because food is another drug for me, is having not just quitting food, because you can't, you have to have a healthy relationship with food. And if you've never had it's just like somebody who's been in a really caustic relationship, they seem to always go back to them because they don't know what a healthy relationship feels like. And I think that's the challenge for most people that are dealing with weight conditions, and especially if it's eating related, is that they have an unhealthy relationship with food, and they don't know how to have a healthy relationship with food. And I think, Adam, I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I'd like to know.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. I was going to bring that up is, alcohol, weed, cigarettes, you don't need those things to live, right? You need food to live. So it always kind of opens this door a little bit for overindulgence, or let me just grab a burger, or whatever the case is. One of the things that I see time and time and time again with my clients, especially when they reach that sort of light bulb aha moment of, I'm successful at my weight loss, and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, is them almost taking the pleasure out of food. And I know that sounds a bit backwards, but what you want to understand is you have to feed the machine, right? So if you treat your body like a machine and something you want this machine to run until 100 years old, you got to make sure you're fueling it right. So you need to start to eat with purpose over pleasure. The unfortunate thing is, through our lives, we've always attached food to an event. So we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, we have birthdays, we have work, dinner parties, we have Friday pizza with the girls, margaritas with the guy, whatever the case is, right? There's always some sort of food. So it sets the emotional attachment to it, which a lot of people struggle with. So one of the things I would highly suggest for anyone who's struggling with this is, one, set up your week so you're doing 5 meals, for example, like count your meals through the day. So you do 5 meals of purpose and then 1 with pleasure. And you do that continuously until you get to the point of feeling that food made me feel shit the next day, and it was a pleasurable food or pleasurable meal, and it's something I've been craving. And then what you naturally start to do is then start to back away from it. And then maybe it becomes 7 meals of purpose, which is in alignment with what you need to do if you're trying to lose weight or put on muscle. And then maybe once a week you have a pleasurable reward meal or something like that. Because all it is just shifting the relationship that you have with the emotion attached to the food.
Well, Adam, you kind of gave me a hard time the last time you were on air, and either you're gonna do something or you're not gonna do it, whatever. Well, I just want you to know that I have been making progress, and
awesome.
I am turning February into Fit February, and I did get there. I'm doing a workout a couple of days a week, and I'm eating a little better, and like Adam would be so proud. It's about progress.
It is about progress.
Progress, not perfection, right?
Yes. And it's true. When I start working out, I eat better because I don't want to feel like crap when I'm working out.
Yeah. Well, so then now start to do it for the feeling. Start to do it for the after the workout feeling, or how you feel at the end of the day, being proud of yourself. If you start to chase that feeling, then you're going to want to attach to that more. So don't chase it for don't chase it for the scale, or don't chase it for the pant size, or whatever the case is. Chase it for like, oh man, I'm fucking proud of myself because I got through the day and I didn't binge eat, or I didn't turn to alcohol when I got stressed out, or I smashed the workouts this week. Because that internal pride will then start to establish a better relationship with health, and then it will stay around for longer.
I love it. Thanks, Adam.
I have to get moving more because I've been craving sweets lately, and that's not normal for me. Like I really, I don't know. Maybe it's cyclical. Has it been 3 or 4 weeks? Maybe that's why I'm in chocolate cravings. I don't know, but I've been eating more sweets than I usually do, and so I'm trying to counteract that and reverse my cravings. You got a tip for that?
Yeah. So if you're craving sweets more, 9 times out of 10, it might be that you're tired or you're dehydrated, right? What tends to happen is if you're tired, your brain is going to be like, okay, we need energy. Where can we get energy from? So it just ramps up the cravings when it comes to sweets, candy, sugar, because it knows sugar equals energy. Energy will keep you awake, right? This is why people crave stuff later in the day. The other thing is hydration. Just make sure you're drinking a hell of a lot of water. Add some salt to it, some good high quality Celtic salt. We'll do the trick. The other thing is it an emotional craving or is it a nutritional craving? So if it's nutritional, then you need to look at that side of stuff.
It's nutritional.
Yeah.
It's nutritional. I've never turned to food for over emotions. That's never been that's not my issue. It's never been that issue. So I know it's nutritional. Then I'm like, okay, am I low on salt? But I'm really not, because I do take my blood pressure on a regular basis. And so I'm like, what is missing? And I have been loaded up on protein. So
it might be your total calories for the day. You might be lacking.
That's very possible, because I don't think I've been getting in like my full 3 meals, which happens a lot. So, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna kind of journal and the next few days and see what I'm doing, and if I'm still having these cravings, and what I can change. And I know that you have this opportunity. You have so many different opportunities at different times to work with people and to get them in on a affordably work with you. And so I want you to tell everybody, make sure everybody on the radio hears you. Where can they find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at _fat loss coach. And then the I've got a 28-day challenge there as well. And I've also got a 2-minute how to look good naked quiz. So it just gives me a bit of feedback and you a bit of feedback on where you need to improve. And basically for the rest of Feb, you can work with me for free. So if you want to take an opportunity and jump on board, you can.
And I want to say this because I'm still a work in progress, but Adam has been my personal coach for 2 years now.
Mhm.
And I've been following him even longer. And you won't miss out because he really focuses on the most important thing where it starts, and that's with mindset. And that's where that's the first conversation we ever have. He was like, all right, well, I got a bunch of questions for you and I'm gonna need some honesty. What are you doing with them? Oh, what's going on in your life?
Yeah.
What is going on in your life? Are you overstressed? Are you not, like you said, not sleeping? Is there been a life change? There's so many different factors that affect our fat. So, but ultimately it comes down to what are you putting in your mouth and are you moving?
Yeah. So there's the base blueprints for everything, but at the same point, you need to make sure that you're understanding that you actually want to change. A lot of these things that like the fat loss programs online or the abs in 60 seconds or whatever you want to call them, or in 3 days, all those programs are trying to get you to not sort out the base problem, right? This stuff that's really going on emotionally or internally. Because if you've been trying to lose the same 20 pounds for the last 20 years, then we need to fix an internal problem. It's not it's not
cortisol levels are for real.
Yep.
And they really that affects that's your stress right there. That's belly fat. So de-stress people. Adam, thank you. We're so glad that you're back and home safely and that you guys had an awesome trip. And we will see you back here next week. Yes?
Yeah, 100%. We'll see you then.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
I was really glad I got to give him a good report today.
I'm glad you got to too. And I just like to be honest with him because he's not going to judge me. He's just wants to help you. And so I want to find out, okay, all right, why did I go eat that brownie while I was cooking dinner? I ate not even a half a brownie, but like a quarter of a brownie, like this much. And I was like, why? I'm like, I don't want that. I'm like, why am I eating this? I'm like, it did taste good. But I was like, why? And it was sitting in front of me, and we don't keep sweets around the house. Like the kids might make, they'll make some chocolate chip cookies, when they want some, or, they keep Oreos, or like even over the weekend, Todd and I had just eaten lunch. And I opened up the freezer because we were looking at, all right, he's like, what kind of fish do we have in there to cook some fish? I'm like, well, I've got some salmon. We're out of cod. I'm looking at all this stuff. And I go, ooh, there's ice cream bars in here. I didn't know these were in here. And I took one out and I'm eating it. And I got halfway through it and it wasn't super big, but man, was it good. But I looked at him and I was like, do you want the other half of this? Because I don't even know why I'm eating this. I don't want this. And I'm full. Yeah. And so it was like a, sit back and look at myself and go, why the frick did I pick up this ice cream bar and eat it? I couldn't eat the whole thing, but which is good. I took it and I was like, I looked at it and I was like, I don't have to eat all of you. And I went and threw it away. I did because I'm like, I can't. So I'm not eating because I just wanted to shove it in my mouth or.
Just need more protein.
This is true. I need more calories. I truly think Adam's right. I get into
if you get your calories from protein, it helps to stave off your appetite.
I need to do that. I can tell that's where I'm not getting. I'm just not. Yesterday morning I feel like I did really good because I ate two eggs, had a piece of sausage with it. But here we go. We just can't get away from it. Can't get away from it.
Your enemy.
They are not your enemy. And Adam talks about that. I'm gonna message him and make sure we talk about carbs next week.
But they can be triggers, and so you got to know what you're.
Sure.
I hate the word.
And the right kind of.
Anyway, it is. I have triggers in carbs, like
triggers.
Triggers.
Oh, I know. I just was making a funny.
To rigor.
Yeah.
To rigor.
Rigor mortis. What?
But chips and salsa is my trigger, right? So I can't go anywhere in Texas.
I do want some Antonios today. I'm not
can't
gonna
wait
lie.
until Thankful Thursday. It's going to be awesome.
It is. We got Troy Fuller joining us, by the way. He's running for re-election in Precinct 4 here in Johnson County. Get out and vote. That's right. Have an amazing day. It's beautiful out there. God bless and be kind.
Put some grace out.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County. JOCO Community Radio.